Lagos and Nairobi are two of the most visited and impressive cities in Africa. Join me as I travel with Kenya Airways from Lagos, Nigeria to Kigali, Rwanda with a layover in Nairobi, Kenya. This video is a must watch before your scheduled trip to Nairobi or Kigali. This is a re-upload of my very first video on YouTube. I don't feel like it's up to standard anymore. That's why I'm re-uploading this. I live close to the airport in Lagos, so I almost always miss my flight. I arrive at the airport minutes before check-in close. KQ uses the new Lagos Terminal 2, which is always a welcome experience. Unfortunately, I had to surrender lots of my liquids because I didn't pack correctly. This is my first international trip in a while, and I put my toiletries in my carry-on and I had to surrender them at the airport. This was also my first experience at the new Lagos airport, and I was impressed. The flight took off on time, nothing extraordinary happened, and I was heading to Rwanda. Rwanda is visa-free for Nigerians, but on this trip, I planned to visit 3 countries. So I ended up getting an East African tourist visa while landing. Kenya is not visa free. I thought it was. You need to pay for an ETA at least 72 hours before your trip. Keep that in mind. Don't be deceived. The onboard experience was fair. Meal service came about an hour after we took off, and this was my very first video as mentioned earlier. I didn't really take much because I was a bit shy and I didn't really know what was expected of me. The topic is still relevant, and I feel like people should not have to deal with the quality of the first video I posted, so that's why I'm re-uploading this. But you can watch the original version now if you want to laugh at me. The flight was packed, and I was lucky enough to sit beside 2 sweet old ladies. They were very amazing, and coincidentally they were also headed to Kigali. One thing I noticed on this flight was the flight attendants were selling duty-free products. They actually came around the aisle a couple times pushing it, and there's a brochure you can check out to buy things on board or when you get to Nairobi. I also love the fact that it was a very Kenyan experience. Some airlines try to be foreign, try to be international, but the flight attendants looked very normal. You know, when you're flying with Middle Eastern Airlines and it feels like they went to a modeling show and only recruited models for their flight attendants. These were normal looking people that you would see on the streets of Nairobi or anywhere else in the world. They did not try to feign a fake accent. It was just very authentic to me. It was an uneventful flight. Nothing exciting happened. Kenya Airways offered a decent product. It wasn't wow, it wasn't bad. We landed in Nairobi at night, and this is because Kenya is 2 hours ahead of Nigeria. So even though we took off at noon, we got here like after 7. I always ask myself and my Kenya friends this question: why does Nairobi have only 1 runway? For an airport of Nairobi's caliber, it should have more than 1 runway. We had a 4-hour layover in Nairobi. We ended up taking off a few minutes past midnight. I used the time to explore the Nairobi airport. It's a very nice semicircle design, very innovative, but it felt a bit dated. I didn't shoot much videos on the way to Kigali because I was tired and I just wanted the day to be done with. But we had to abort our landing in Kigali twice because it was raining cats and dogs on the ground. I was beginning to get scared, but most other people were sleeping. We eventually landed to a rainy Kigali, and that's the end of this trip. If you'd like to see what I got up to in East Africa, I have more than 50 videos waiting for you. Enjoy. Until the next video, your friend from the Ukodo YouTube channel wishes you love, peace and prosperity.